Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. This week, my final week of my beginner's running advice. Hopefully you are still loving running, or maybe that's a bit of a stretch, but hopefully you're loving the feeling of starting running and progressing, and you're feeling the benefits and you're noticing your progress as well. So if you started off at like kind of 20-30 seconds of running and you've now built up to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you can run now, then fantastic. That's a really good achievement. You might not be up to 30 minutes of running non-stop just yet, because we're only on sort of week 6, and I think I didn't actually get you started until a couple of weeks in. So don't worry about it if you're not quite there yet, but the main thing is you keep going with it and you keep building up bit by bit, just sticking with it and being consistent, and you will get there, I promise. So feel free to keep in touch with me about your progress. That would be great. But this week what I want to do is just give you some advice for going forward, how you can improve on your running. And this might be useful for people that are already running now and want to get faster, or want to be able to run more efficiently and just improve on their running, or just mix it up a little bit, because let's be honest, running can sometimes be a little bit boring. So yeah, I'm going to give you some top tips on how we can try and make it less boring, let's say that. So last week I was saying about some strength and conditioning sessions. Really good if you're looking to improve on your running, or maybe you've got some areas that you know are gonna, like, kind of niggles or previous injuries or weaknesses that you need to work on. Strength and conditioning sessions can work well on sort of strengthening the lower body. Perhaps for running it tends to be lower body that needs it, and core, middle area as well, and glutes, as I said last week, in your bum. So yeah, those key areas are going to be essential. We need to get them stronger. Obviously running does help to get them stronger, and yeah, running obviously makes you better at running, but to enhance that, adding in some strength and conditioning sessions can be really good as well to improve. So that's something I could help you with, but there's also plenty of information online that you could find about what to do. Things like, let's just say, squats, lunges, glute bridges, some core plank, things like that, really good for runners, just as a basic kind of simple exercise you could do. But have a look online or get in touch with me, happy to help. Then in terms of actually running sessions, variety of different things you could do. Now, you probably at the moment, if you're just starting out, you're probably just going out and just running a route that is as flat as possible, most likely, which would be good. I didn't say that at the beginning, but I think most of you would have been put off by running any hills. But once you're into running and you can run 30 minutes non-stop, or you can run 5K or whatever, or if you've been running for a long time, you might want to mix it up a little bit and add in some hill training. So you would run up the hill at whatever pace you can manage, really, as fast as you possibly can to get it over and done with, but just whatever pace you can manage. And then you would sort of jog back down again, and you just repeat that for maybe to start off with, you'd do maybe 3 or 4 of those hill repeats, and then you'd go and carry on with your run elsewhere, and then you'd build up, maybe be able to do sort of 5 of them another time, and then build up to maybe sort of 10 to, if you really wanted to, you could do a whole session on there, so like maybe 15 of these hills. It depends how long the hill is, obviously, but yeah, what's really good about hill training is it makes any other running on flat surfaces feel easier. So you're basically trying to overload as such, but not in a bad way, but you're just trying to make your running as hard as possible, so that when you do it on a normal sort of, in a normal circumstance, I think I'm trying to say, like in a normal race, for example, you're not going to just go up and down a hill. There might be some hills in it, and that would train you for those hills, but you're not going to just go up and down hill. So if you were to do that in your session, you're overcompensating, you're doing up and down the hills so that it feels as hard as possible, but then when you go into that race situation or on any other run, it will feel much easier, and your body will have got much stronger to cope with that demand, if that makes sense. I've probably not explained that very well, but basically all you need to know is that hill sessions are really, really good for building up your strength and your fitness, because you always feel out of breath, no matter like what level, whenever I do hill sessions, even if I can run faster, I still feel out of breath. Even if I've been running for longer, I still feel out of breath because I just push myself more. Getting up the hill, that incline always gets you out of breath, challenges you, but 100% worth doing. And try and do it once a week, every week, to see a lasting progression and improvement. So that's one way. And then another way, probably should have started with this one, probably more inclined to do this maybe, but sprint intervals. So a bit like you did maybe at the start when I said go out and do see how long you can run for non-stop. It's similar to that, but probably you'd have it a bit more structured to start off with. So sprint intervals, basically you'd go out, you do your warm-up, and then you might jog for a little bit, and then maybe on a flatter kind of route, you would sprint for maybe 20 to 30 seconds, and then you would either walk or jog to recover it in between, maybe get back to where you started, walk back to a bit like the hill kind of thing, but you do this one on the flat, and then you would go again, and you'd maybe do that sort of 10 times. And it's all about just basically trying to increase your speed endurance. So being able to run run faster for longer. That's what we want to be able to do. But again, these are things that you would do perhaps when you're already running for sort of 30 minutes /5K non-stop, and you're just looking to add a bit of variety to your training, but also progress as well. You don't need to be doing sort of speed training whilst you're trying to work on basic endurance at the moment. But yeah, I just wanted to give some advice to those that are already running and already at that level, and then something for you to think about if you're getting a bit bored later on when you've progressed. So loads of other kind of sessions that you can do as well, but they're two of my favourites, and the strength and conditioning as well. But yeah, happy to help if you would like any future advice about running. It is my passion to get people running and enjoying it. So please do get in touch, share your success stories, let me know how you're getting on, and I'll be back next week with some more top tips and advice on getting you fitter.